GoTo. You ever heard of GoTo?
Yes.
GoTo is a parent company that has, over the past 5 or so years, maybe more, kind of gobbled up some of its competitors. GoTo is and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure GoTo is the parent company now that owns LastPass. GoTo owns a number of other products. They used to have a GoTo Meeting, GoTo Connect. These were the original kind of webinar, kind of remote support. Well, it was like, let's face it, it's a like desktop to desktop kind of remote tool, right? And they adapted it to be a remote support tool, and then they adapted it to be a webinar hosting kind of tool in their GoTo Meeting. But I'm looking at their products right now. It looks like they have GoTo Connect, which looks like a telephony product. GoTo Meeting, which is video conferencing. GoTo Webinar, which is their webinar product. GoTo Training, which is a virtual training platform. So it's the whole GoTo family product. Then they bought LogMeIn. You've heard of LogMeIn?
Yes.
So they bought LogMeIn, and LogMeIn had similar products, both in a remote support tool, a remote access tool, remote desktop tools, that sort of thing. And then they bought LastPass, and so that is now the GoTo family. Now we know in was it August that LastPass was compromised, or November? So we heard in November that they discovered a compromise. I think that occurred in August. I think that was the timeline. And that notice was surrounding LastPass. And, I don't know if you heard that if it affected GoTo, but I did not hear that it affected GoTo. I'm going to share my screen. So we received this update from GoTo yesterday from, I don't know who this is, if it's the CEO or CTO of GoTo. To all GoTo customers, I'm writing to update you on the ongoing investigation about the security incident we told you about November 22nd. Now let's just go back to November 22nd. So apparently here's the original post from November 30th, 2022. To all GoTo customers, I'm writing to inform you that GoTo is investigating a security incident. While we are currently working to better understand the scope of the issue, we wanted to let you know about the situation and how we are responding. Upon learning of the incident, we immediately launched an investigation, engaged Mandiant, a leading security firm, and alerted law enforcement. Based on investigation to date, we have just detected unusual activity within our development environment and third-party cloud storage service. The third-party cloud storage service is currently shared by GoTo and its affiliate LastPass. GoTo products and services remain fully functional, and we are committed to our customers. So even if I did see that notice, which I'm sure I probably did get that notice, it's pretty innocuous, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't tell us a whole lot there.
Doesn't tell me a whole lot either. So yesterday we get this gem right here, which I'm really shocked that the news cycle is either numb to this or nobody's paying attention. I posted about it on LinkedIn yesterday, and I'm getting about 1,700 impressions on it and a number of comments. So some of my network are paying attention to it. So they just reveal more information. Our investigation to date has determined that a threat actor exfiltrated encrypted backups from a third-party cloud storage service related to the following products. Their Central, Pro, Join Me, Hamachi, and Remotely Anywhere. Both Central and Remotely Anywhere is a remote access tool for users and administration. So that is seriously concerning. We also have evidence that a threat actor exfiltrated just means took an encryption key for a portion of the encrypted backup. So there you go. They took the backup with the encryption key. So their systems store the encrypted data and the keys right next to each other or within reach. The affected information, which varies by product, may include usernames, salted and hashed passwords. Salted and hashed passwords just means it's a sub-encryption of a string. So remember when we were kids, you would use like a basic cipher to take a sentence and just jumble up the sentence. So that's basically what that means in a very basic way. A portion of the MFA settings, as well as some product settings and licensing information. In addition, while Rescue and GoTo My PC encrypted databases were not exfiltrated, MFA settings of a small subset of the customers were impacted. So that was a hard hit for these guys. Of course, they say at this time we have no evidence of exfiltration affecting other GoTo products and those referenced. We are contacting affected customers directly to provide additional information and recommended additional steps for them to take, which basically means even though all account passwords are salted and hashed in accordance with best practices, out of an abundance of caution, we will also reset the passwords of affected users and or reauthorize MFA settings where applicable. Which is good, actually, because if they can detect who was affected on their network and just instigate a password change and MFA reset, there's some comfort to that. If just in case you don't know if you're affected or not, or if you're, managing an environment that exceeds your capacity to proactively change the passwords. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So let me ask about that. So if you're in a business environment and you're running this as a, I don't know, systems administrator or whatever, so you can force all your users to change their LastPass, the initial login there.
Yeah, I can't make a blanket statement about every single product, but most centrally administered company, corporate stylized products like these products do give administrators the ability to do a global instigation of password resets and MFA resets and things like that. It's completely disruptive and it will flood your help desk. But we're bracing for the impact today because we do have some clients who use this family of products. But the technical team doesn't seem to be on fire right now. So, and it's still early morning. So we should be able to absorb this no problem. But yeah, what else?
So people outside, you mentioned you're getting some comments and some traction. Is it people outside your industry or inside your industry? Because I'm always curious about that, how it relates back to my industry too. But so are non-technical
So that's a good
people
question. I
talking
mean,
about this?
I try to balance the connections. I didn't realize how many connection requests I have on LinkedIn. Nathan pointed it out, I think, last week. He's like, geez, you have almost, 5,000 or something. I try to balance the people I connect with technology professionals and, other. So I don't know, maybe does this analytics give me the division of, there you go, top demos. President, founders, owners, CEOs, co-founders. Those are by title.
Yeah. I'm just talking about this kind of post or this,
There you go. Look at that
instance of, yeah, there you go.
So by and large, yeah, that the first three categories are technology related. So, but the financial and law practice.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is a specific post. Okay, got it.
Yeah, this is on on that post that I made yesterday. So it, and there's some, general, I just said this will be news, and I'm kind of surprised that it's not as newsy as it should be. Maybe, the technology sector is probably responding to it in the news cycle right now, but I don't know if mainstream will pick it up. It's, I don't want to say it's more or less a continuation of the LastPass hack, but it is. It's obviously the same event that happened. And because it affected a multitude of products across a given brand, that's why it's noteworthy, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's interesting how you think of that big picture and content. I mean, if you're going to post something, or we're going to post something, are we just going to get a bunch of other advisors or technical folks that like it and comment? How do we cross that bridge and to make real people care about it, right? I guess that's the challenge of content, right?
Yeah. Let me just share this one more time. I just want to put this up on the screen one more time, and just I want the takeaway, because I think Nathan likes to keep me on task with the takeaway. The takeaway here for this news event is if you see on screen the family of GoTo products are up, if you use anything from GoTo, GoToMeeting, GoToAssist, GoToConnect, GoToMeeting, if you use anything from LogMeIn Central, LogMeIn Rescue, if you use LastPass, if you're not updating or changing passwords, resetting your multi-factor authentication, you should be doing that
Okay.
with vigor.
Okay. Yeah, and so anybody even that uses like they have a family plan or any individuals, basically, if you have any of those products, you should change your master password, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a little disappointing to see such an event happen on such a pervasive vendor. I am starting to evaluate whether they should be a viable vendor moving forward. I don't know. It's going to be it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting year because either you're going to see this hack again, or you're going to see you're going to see this headline again from another vendor or cascading series of vendors,
Right.
or it's going to just keep happening to this one vendor. And
Yeah.
they've already lost they already had a compromise a number of years ago.
Hmm.
So it's right now, it's like you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater because everybody gets hacked. I mean, every time you download an update for your operating system on your phone, on your computer, like Apple just had a 0-day exploit patched yesterday. So that means there was an active exploit on iPhones that, iPhone was vulnerable to. So vulnerabilities do exist. In this context, it's just how much of this was malfeasance, how
Right.
much of this was negligence. So,
Hmm. Right. And
or
do the changes they've made make them a better company? Sometimes you want to stay with the person that just got hacked because they're going to be on high alert. They've got the newest, freshest, whatever.
that's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. That's very true. I mean, they have a fiscal imperative to get it together. So
Yeah.
if
And to be transparent about the improvements, not to the point where that would allow them to be hacked, but if I were them, man, I'd be just cranking out press releases and whatever about everything they're doing and changing and as much as they can.
yeah, exactly.